In today's Sailor Piece video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to hit over 600 billion damage. I'm going to show you the exact items you need and how to get every single one of them so you can pull off this insane number. Now keep in mind, you can only hit the full 600 billion with a crazy amount of setup, but even without the full setup, you'll still be able to drop over 400 billion damage every single time. This build is absolutely insane. But before we get into the build, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you for hitting 10,000 subscribers. That is actually insane. The love and support you guys have been showing me recently means everything. So thank you all very much. And for the 10,000 sub giveaway, I'm going to give you guys one more chance to enter to win one of every single 2x Game Pass. All you have to do to enter is comment your username on any one of my videos, and I'll be picking a winner from any video or short. Lastly, make sure you join the Discord because we have exclusive giveaways running in there all the time. Like right now, we have a 2x luck Game Pass giveaway going on right now, so you don't want to miss out. All right, enough yapping. Let's get into the video. Now, the very first thing we're going to want to do is get our weapon. I'm sure all of you guys can guess which weapon we're going to go for. It's obviously going to be the Dragon Goddess. This thing is absolutely insane. They buffed it so much. It's finally better than the Ice Queen, which is amazing. And honestly, it looks so cool. I love it. For those who don't know how to get the sword, I'm going to do a really quick rundown. All you have to do is make sure you're in the second sea and you have to go to the open sea. Literally anywhere in the open sea like this. Now, once you're here, you just want to sit and wait patiently for any sea beast or kraken to spawn in. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind is having a higher bounty actually makes it so krakens and sea beasts will spawn more frequently. So if you want me to make a video on the best way to actually increase your bounty really quickly, just let me know in the comments and I might make one. It also helps if you have a bunch of friends with you with somewhat high bounty and just sit in like a close circle to each other. It'll increase the spawn rates tremendously. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I gave up on trying to solo spawn it because it is rare when you're, especially if you're by yourself, but you know. W Discord members, they ended up spawning one in, but pretty much you gotta spawn in a sea serpent or a kraken. The kraken is like way harder. I think it has double the health of a sea serpent, but pretty much you just want to keep killing these over and over again until you get the Dragon Goddess. There's a 2.24% chance of dropping with no luck build, and I have 2x luck. So honestly, for most people, it takes like a 1% chance, which sucks. So you need to make sure you're using a luck build if you're able to do at least 10% damage. This is actually a 2-in-1 that we have to farm because we're going to need a bunch of these Kraken arms to get to level 10. It takes so long. It took me literally 2 nights of AFKing with my entire guild in a private server just near each other. It's a big grind, but it's worth it because the Kraken armor adds 140% additional damage. Wait, let me double check that real quick. Yeah, 140% extra damage, which is insane. So you want to make sure you're grinding this for the Dragon Goddess and the Kraken armor. Now, after finally getting the weapon and a ton of those armor pieces, I believe for the armor, you do need at least like 23. So you want to head all the way to the world island and come to the enchanter here. Thankfully, they added all of like the C1 NPCs, so you have to keep going back and forth. And you just come down here. You want to fully upgrade your armor all the way up. I can't show you guys the exact armor because mine's already maxed, and after you max it, you know, it stops showing. But pretty much you just want to come here and spam upgrade it a bunch until you get to E10. E10 is the best one. It'll give you 140% damage increase. Insane. Oh, I also forgot to mention that for our title, we're going to be using the brand new Dragon Queen title. Look all the way down here. As an additional 97.5% increased damage, it is the best title in the game. Now, if you don't know how to get this, you literally just have to kill a whole bunch of Krakens and Sea Beasts. It's a very low chance, but you want to make sure you are farming them. So I recommend farming these overnight to make sure you get everything that you need. After upgrading our armor, we're going to want to head over to this trait NPC right over here and make sure we have the Emperor trait. It is still the best trait in the game. It is so good. I believe it adds 130% increased damage, so you need it. This is the best trait in the game by a mile, so make sure you are using this one. And a real quick note, because the NPC is right here, the Ascension NPC, you don't have to be max level Ascension, but honestly, if you're in C2, you should be max level Ascension. You just get more money, more gems, you can like spam your moves faster, so you get a faster cooldown reduction, 12%, that's insane, and way more luck. So this will help you get the Kraken armor, the other, like the weapon set, it will help you get all that stuff way faster, so you want to make sure you're max level Ascension. This isn't important for doing damage, but it is important for grinding, and you want to make sure you are max level in this. And for the race, we're going to still be using the Luckborn race. It is still the best race in the game because you have an insane 15% sword damage multiplier. You also get luck with this. So this is, honestly, Luckborn is the best race in the game for literally every build. Luck build, melee build, sword build. So you want to make sure you're using Luckborn. There is literally no downside of using it. You also get a 90% max HP buff. 15% melee buff too. If you don't want to use this sword build, but you want to use a melee build, you know, it still adds 15% both ways, so it's still really good. And you get a flat 80% damage increase regardless. Obviously, the Kraken armor that we already talked about, the 140%, insane, best one in the game. You want to still be using the Primordial Rune. 120% increase, insanity. Make sure you are using this. If you still don't have this, make sure you watch my video on the best way to get it because you want to make sure you have the Primordial Rune. It is absolutely insane. 120% damage increase is so good. And for our clan, we're still going to be using the Frostbane clan. As a 40% increased damage, a 47% max HP, 10% sword damage, and 12% luck. So the luck and the sword damage, it's really nice. You get an additional 50% in sword damage. So So it's going to boost us like crazy. Now, something new that they added with C2 is actually going to be the Bloodline system. They added 2 new Bloodlines that are really good. The Astral Bloodline, which is what we're going to be using, and the Primordial Bloodline. Now, that Primordial Bloodline is more of like a melee grinding build, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using the Astral Bloodline because it has a 30% increased damage, a 10% luck multi, a 2% lifesteal, a 10% sword multi, and a 35% max HP. That is actually really, really good. We'll get a ton of extra damage. Now, if you don't actually know how to get the Bloodline rerolls, it's really easy. You just have to kill any of these NPCs in C2. You just keep farming them over and over again. So you get your best like 2 times drop build, like using Eminence Clan and using Fortune Chosen. You just want to keep grinding these guys. Just set up an auto clicker with the move that covers everything, and then you'll be fine. You'll farm a whole bunch really quickly. Now for the power trait, we're going to want to use the Curse Brand. The Curse Brand is really, really good. Now you can also increase like the total damage you can do if you have 2 people. Now this is a solo guide, so you can still hit 600 billion solo, but if you have a friend who can also hit the NPC or like hit any of the mobs, it will increase the damage by, you know, if they have a 10 to 15% depending on what their stat is, which is really good. So you want to get the best Curse Brand you possibly can, and make sure your friend also has one too if you're doing this with someone else. Now there's 3 spec passives that we can still use. It is still Damage 5, Berserker, and Rampage. Damage 5 being the worst, Berserker being the second best, and Rampage being the absolute best if you want to do the time to set up. Now, if you're only gonna, you know, if you want a slight easier setup, you want to be using Berserker. I really like using Berserker because you don't have to sit there so whacking an NPC a whole bunch to get to the max level, like get to the max damage, sorry. But, you know, you just want to get as close to max level as you possibly can on any of these. Head over to this blessing NPC also. It's right next to the enchanter, so we should probably done this next, but that's fine. Just make sure your weapon's level 10. You just want to come here and just spam upgrade it. You upgrade it from these materials, you know, same as the armor piece. You just get the adamantite, you know, the wood, the logs, all that good stuff, you know, and you just get those from, you know, farming NPCs. I'm sure all of you guys already know that. But make sure you are level 10 because it increases your damage by 25%, which is huge. Also, this skill tree, if you're in C2, honestly, you should have this maxed out. I'd be very surprised if you're C2 and you don't have all this stuff maxed out. This is really good. It increases all your stats. Like, your damage increases by 25%, your crit damage increases by 25%, your luck increases by 25%, your crit chance increases by 5%. So all this stuff adds up. You want to make sure this is maxed out. A really important thing that a lot of people forget about is your artifacts. Make sure you are using a full Abyssal Crown set. Now, these are my total stats. I already made a video doing a deep dive into explaining everything, making sure like you guys know exactly what should be on what item, what you should be aiming for, the max level of everything. So if you want more information about artifacts, make sure you go watch my video. It's literally only 4 minutes long. So after watching this video, go watch my artifact guide. Now, unfortunately, we do have to head back to C1 just for a couple of these upgrades. Now, the C1 upgrades that you definitely need are going to be the Infinite Tower and the Boss Rush upgrades. You want to make sure both these are maxed out because they each give 25%, 15%, and 5% to these like specific categories. So in total, you get an additional 50% damage increase, 30% crit damage increase, and a 10% crit chance increase, which is so good. You cannot be forgetting about this stuff, and it's really easy to AFK grind. I've made a whole bunch of videos on both of these. After checking the boss rush stuff, you want to head over to the stat reroller on the same island, and you want to make sure most of your stats are set to Z, like especially the damage ones, like damage, crit chance, and crit damage. Those are the most important ones to make sure you have Z tier in. But make sure you get Z tier in all of them because they are all very helpful, so you will need to get all of them regardless. And you can't be forgetting about the legendary auras. You want to have a legendary aura equipped. You need one equipped because it has an additional 50% damage increase. If you're not using this one, you're literally throwing away damage that you can have. Even if you don't have a legendary one, use the best one that you possibly can because even a common one increases your damage by 5%. Same thing with the cosmetics. You want to at least try to have one legendary item that you're using. Like, I'm not even showing it visually, but it increases your damage by 15% and increases your HP by 20%. Obviously, if you don't have the legendary one, use the best one you have. Like, for example, if you have a common one, it still increases your damage by 5% and increases your HP by 7.5%. So it's not bad to have. You just want to make sure you're using it. Another new thing that they added, you want to head over to Bizarre Island for this to find this NPC, is the Relic Crafter. You want to make sure you get this damage relic. It is really, really hard to get because you need 40 Relic Part 7s, 30 Relic Part 8s, 50 Relic Part 1s, and 50 Relic Part 3s. Now, these relics have a really low chance of dropping, so you want to use your best +1 drop build and your best luck build. But for the NPCs you have to farm to get these items, I'm going to show you them real quick. For 7 and 8, you want to farm these fast ninjas right over here on Punch Island, and you just want to grind them a whole bunch because it's going to take a while. And for 1 and 3, you're going to want to head over to Starter Island. I believe the Delinquents drop piece 1, and the NPCs over here, what are they called? The strong fighters, they drop the piece 3. So you want to farm these 2 sets of NPCs also if you want to try to get the damage build. Something you can do is actually build the luck relic first. That's what I did to get these damaged. Huge shout out to everyone in the Discord who helped me. I was originally going to write their name in the description. I wrote their names on a notepad, but I forgot to save the notepad. I restarted my PC and it didn't save it. And so I was going to go through my, my trade log here. but I give away so much stuff that I, you know, don't have. I don't I don't have the names anymore, so I'm really sorry, but if you help me, seriously, thank you. Shout out to everyone in the Discord. And the last buff we're going to want to look at is actually going to be the guild buff. Now, this is probably the hardest buff to get into the entire game. Why wasn't that loading? Now, you want to make sure you either have your own guild or be in a guild that has a max level damage, and crit chance. These are really important to have, especially if you're below 100% crit chance, or like, you know, you just want to increase your damage overall, because 15% increase is insane with the additional 5% increase in your crit damage. So you definitely want to make sure you're in a good guild. If you want to join my guild, make sure you're in my Discord. This is literally for my community. We're looking for grinders all the time. We're going through and getting rid of inactive people. So if you want to join my guild and you are a grinder, make sure you join my Discord to apply. Now, with this build, you're gonna have a total of 1,111.5% increased damage, which is so high. I think that might be one of the highest ones you can like possibly get in the entire game right now. Now, if you just want to send the 400 billion damage every single time with no setup, you just come over to this NPC right over here and you just want to use your move. All you have to do is use your move. It's so simple. It's so easy. Just come over here. 140 damage with the very first attack. 300 billion damage already. 400 billion damage. 426 billion damage every single time you want to use this move. That is absolutely insane. Now, if you want to get to the 600 billion that we talked about, you just want to go over here into your, where is it? Hold on, your storage, and you want to put on a rampage. You're going to want a rampage. My rampage isn't the best, but you just want to come over here and then start smacking this dummy on repeat. You just want to keep doing this for, it takes a decent amount of time. You just want to keep doing this for a while until you get to the max amount of like frostbane stack and rampage stack. Now, after doing this for a while, the way to check to see if you're at the max level damage is actually just going to be, as soon as that damage number goes down, you just want to keep re-hitting. So like I'm at 10.36, so we'll do it one more time. Boom, 10.36. All right, nice. Next one, I'll activate the move so you guys can see it here. And don't worry, this number goes away. Watch this. Boom, 221 billion for the very first stack. It's already at 500 billion. 664 billion damage. That is insane. That has to be some of the highest damage I've seen in this entire game. Like and subscribe if this helped you at all, and don't forget to comment your username for a chance to win one of every 2 times Game Pass. The winner is going to be announced in my next video. And on your screen right now is a video that YouTube thinks you'll absolutely love.